The project was situated right in the middle of a residential cluster where you simply didn't have any breathing space. There was literally no setbacks. And the road was also in front, which was very narrow. It was very difficult for me to think that, okay, somebody could live again inside a box. So we had to devise a method where, it opens up. The client is a scientist from ISRO. So young couple, and they wanted to have a residence in Trivandrum. And they wanted to have an eco-friendly practice because that is something which they believed a lot in. So basically what we had was a very narrow road, which was hardly 2.5 meter. So this was my biggest problem, that I had a small road in front. Even turning around was very difficult, and this was a huge, already built. Every building there was built at least 10 years ago. And we had this very small property, which was, having building on all sides of it. And then we had to build something in here. And the width of the building was also very small. And the worst part was, direct opposite to us, there was another building, which also followed only 3 meters back. So literally from my property, within 6 meters, I had a 2-storied facade on top. And plus we had only a width of around 12 meters. And take away the 1 meter and all, you are again left with something around 10 meters. And I knew that the wind flow was actually coming from this thing, from somewhere, in that scenario. My basic concept was that the courtyard is necessary because I cannot look to anywhere outside, not even to the front. You can't open a window and see even a nice plant. And wind flow was very mandatory for me, so I wanted the wind flow to go like that. If my walls are something like this, the very first thing that we decided was that we do not have any horizontal walls. These walls are not there. None of these are there. But somehow I need to define it in such a way, and I decided that central portion is a courtyard. Then the next big problem was the courtyard wasn't wide enough, because when we divided, the courtyard became just around 3 meter by 3 meter, which according to me wasn't giving me enough volume. So I was trying to speculate what all I can minus in the rest of the spaces. So initially we decided, okay, bedroom, according to the basic vastu and all, bedroom somehow came in this portion. Entry came into this portion. A basic sit out and all happened in this portion, and drawing room. A very simple plan, dining, kitchen, and maybe toilet and all. Then I started to think, okay, where can my central courtyard space encroach? I thought, okay, the sit out can be reduced. Drawing room, of course, needs to have more. Dining can be reduced. Kitchen, Mallus love their kitchens so much. And toilet, of course, can go a bit more smaller. Bedroom, of course, we want bigger bedrooms. All of us love bigger bedroom. So thinking about that, I thought, okay, maybe even if my courtyard starts as a basic square courtyard, there is a chance that I can make a diamond out of it. So slowly the thought process happened where, okay, if the volume goes up bigger like this, which we all know that the diamond is bigger than the square inscribed in it. So in ground floor, what happens is my walls start from zero. Let's imagine these start from zero. And slowly I thought, okay, we have already done some sinusoidal walls, like walls which, kind of go flowing, they corbel and everything. We had already done that. I had some previous experience in that. But this time I thought to take it to the final level and then leave it forever. So I thought, okay, if the walls slowly project out, slowly they project out with the help of the previous course. So one thing leads to another thing. If I do this for one wall, so definitely it needs to have something to stand upon. So I had to do something like that in this particular wall. So that was how it decided. And then, of course, this particular wall which is projecting like this, it also needs some support. So this is somewhat how I did the basic project. And then in the second floor, what happens is, I got my volume, now let it all come back. because I cannot give these curves and all for roofing because I do ferrocement shells, which are these wafer thin structures named after M.M. Thomas, you know. So these wafer thin structures need a very parallel wall, you know, for that to stay. So eventually these curves return back to its original position, which is what is happening here. And then I decided that I will also make sure that none of these spaces are kind of, you know, like occupied. At least they will have a huge yard, a space to talk, space to sit, and all those things will have. Some of the advantages that I got is because, as I said before, that I wanted to increase the spatial feeling of certain spaces. For example, in the kitchen and all, that space which came helped me to make a pantry table, you know, of this kind of size. And in the bedroom also, I got something like a nice study table with nice natural light falling from the top. So these were many of the advantages. In the toilet, I could put wash basin without having a pedestal. You know, normally wash basins need a pedestal. So without having a pedestal, I could just place it on top of on the wall. The courtyard had a coconut tree, so we had to make sure that the coconut tree was salvaged. The double height that we gained from the sit out and the areas actually gives another spatial quality to such kind of spaces. The courtyard's volume increase would generate a lot of ventilation and light in it. So individually, it is not like, okay, I did the sculpture and then thought about the function. No, I thought about the function first and then did something like this. That is how it happened. I generally use mud blocks. These are compressed stabilized earth blocks that I learned from Auroville Earth Institute. But in this particular scenario, there was no space for us to even make these mud blocks, because we had to get mud from some place, or, you know, like maybe dig it and then allow it to dry and then sieve it and then make mud blocks out of it, which was impossible with the small 3.5 cents that we had. And I went around searching and I found out that most of the kilns in that particular area are closing. Most of the kilns, fire brick kilns, are run by societies. They are not run by massive, big individual owners. But the soil has been depleting, clay has been depleting. So it struck my mind that I will never, probably within 5 years, I will never be able to take country fire bricks. Other than the fine finished bricks, I will never be able to take any country fire bricks, which are made for I think around 6.5 rupees, 7 rupees, that kind of money. And I wanted to dedicate something to this fantastic rat trap bond idea. We found out that a normal rat trap bond cannot project like that. And we needed to have concealed columns, beams, and all those things, because this thing is going in different spans. The walls themselves have to support a lot, so I need to give them some support. Taking this into consideration, we thought, okay, we have to manipulate rat trap bond into a new something like a bond. So we have been masons at site, we have been helpers at site, we have been carpenters at site. We devised a technique where the header block of this particular rat trap is projected outward, and then the next course or even course of this particular structure can be supported with the header of the previous block. Yeah, I generally have a structural engineer, Suresh sir, who is like a fatherly character to me. This particular site had a pile foundation because the soil was very bad. So he designed the piles and he told me somehow the load should reach to the top. So some of these bricks were going too far that they would actually fall, you know. So the only way for me is to make sure that they continue, in some sense, all the way to the top, even if it is going through another wall. So this was the way I had to transfer all the loads onto like a triangle. So basically our building is kind of something like this. This is how it happens. So the loads are kind of, you know, like somehow we make sure that it travels to these spaces and everything. And I made sure that there are some lateral ties, because the breakage of these things were immense. Country fire bricks are no more the same quality as they used to be. So I had to give some lateral ties to make sure that when they are bending, it doesn't crack too much. There was nothing like a shutter, which many people believe there was. There was hardly some sticks which people put so that, you know, like it doesn't fall when it is wet. That was all that we had. So I had to eventually make sure that whatever I start off, if a wall starts off in a very curvilinear fashion, it eventually ends up into the one of the walls, so that there is support there. This is how it happened. And you might be very well aware that Kerala recently got its metro and everything. So there were a lot of scaffolding pipes that were kept for waste. Now, because it was a metro and the scaffolding pipes came of a very large gauge, I could afford to make grills in between without any vertical tie-up. I could just go for grills like this, and the grills wouldn't shake, and they take the load themselves. So once we did that, then the question came that it was too open. How do you have some way to close it or give us some privacy? If there are pipes coming like this, if what bends like this? I just wanted something that bend like this and go. And we found out that there are local places which actually bring cane for a very cheap price. We can get the bunch of it, and we wet it somehow and make sure that it bends like this, and then it stays. So then it's very difficult for anybody to encroach into the space. So these things actually came something like that, and it helped a lot into the idea of this particular project. There was a lot of discarded wood from false ceilings of old buildings, which we used as flooring. To give it a better life and strength, we use decking oil, which is just vegetable oil. Staircase was actually made with the same scaffolding pipe, and then it came to the question of what do you do for railings, and I suggested the same cane pieces, sticks for railing. Humans are getting more and more like closely packed together, and architects are supposed to find a solution where still we can feel some isolation or privacy. I'm very thankful that I got a client like Kiran and Sridevi who are very patient and resilient.